Welcome to Fast Five, where our four panelists weigh in on 5 separate topics. Let's get started. Canadian polygamist leader found guilty of having 25 wives. Tyler.
That's so many wives. I don't know how one man can put up with 25 wives.
Put up with, that's an
boy, those ladies out there, did you hear that?
There's just
You're going to be flooded with calls
from
dates
yeah,
here in the
yeah.
next couple of days.
oh yeah,
Speaking of reputation-destroying comments.
Well, yeah. But I think it's, the guy moved from the United States to Canada just to get all of his people under a health care bill.
Right.
Because he's got 25 wives and 100 kids, something like 100 children.
Oh my goodness.
Between I think there's 2 guys involved in this, but I guess they wanted coverage. It's too expensive here, so they went to...
But didn't he tell the truth up front? He said
did.
he's not saying he doesn't have them. He says he does.
Yeah.
And
They're just a sect of
the religion, he's following his religious teaching.
just like ISIS.
So is that wrong?
Well, I can't.
It is when it flies in the face of
Yeah.
Well, there's
the
our laws.
federal law.
Yeah,
it
there's
is.
laws.
In this particular
Yeah.
case, yeah.
I completely understand the basic biological interest that males have in populating the world. It's just acting upon those, and I'm at some level, sans the put up with comment, I'm with Tyler. I'm not sure 25 wives would be something that would be of interest to me.
So are they going to build
not
a wall to
something
keep
we want
Americans
going
out?
on in our society.
No, it's not.
Okay, we've got another good one here. We got several good ones we got to get to. Trump provides a memorable speech to Boy Scouts. Tom.
You can't erase it from your memory, I'll tell you that. It was one of the most, I think, deplorable things he's done as president up to this point.
Oh, come on. There's plenty of stuff he's done that's more deplorable than that.
Well, I think this is particularly, and even from reactions I've gotten, these are children again.
It's a stump speech. It was a stump speech.
Well, he's
You
not
do not give a
campaigning
stump
at the
speech.
10-year-old.
That's my point.
You don't
He's
give a
not
stump
campaigning
speech.
at all.
Well, he is
The
campaigning.
election's over.
It
He
isn't
was.
over for him. He's
Understand
running
that.
for the next
But
one.
you do
Yeah,
not,
you
you
know
do
what?
not get a crowd to
Don't-
boo a president.
Don't say
and a Hillary
deplorable.
Clinton.
Don't say deplorable.
It is
That's
deplorable.
that's like saying serious is a heart attack. A heart attack is very serious.
This is
people-
deplorable to me personally because this is
Okay.
about
Well, that's
children.
because you're a Trump hater.
I'm not simply a Trump hater. It's about children.
I get that.
You
but
do not get up there as president of the United States of America, leader of the free world, and encourage those kids. They're going to remember this all their life.
And how are they going to remember?
They're going to remember they were being asked by this guy to boo a president. And they did, happily. They even were chanting stuff. I mean, and he spurred that. He had absolutely no consideration for his audience and who he was talking to.
It was
Absolutely, if you talk this way to children, what the heck are you going to do to the rest of
You
people?
know what I like to hear? I like to hear the
This is
Attorney
beyond
General
the pale
address
to me.
the issue
I'm
because
sorry.
the Attorney General was an Eagle Scout.
I
And
think,
I would
think
love to
this-
see
I
what
think-
other people think about the
Obama was a Boy Scout. He wasn't.
I think
Trump
this
never got
discussion
close to
we're
it.
having right now is a perfect encapsulation of what the left has done every single time Donald Trump does something idiotic since he's been president. He
Well,
does
now you just said what he does idiotic.
And he does
so
a
you're
lot of
admitting
things
he does a
idiotic.
lot of idiotic
This
things.
one's at the top of the
and,
list.
and this is a terrible story for Trump. He should not have done this. It was a bad speech, and he should not have
It's
has
more than
said
a
it.
bad
But there are
speech.
people who are saying this was like a Hitler Youth rally, and this is another example
Hitler.
of the left overplaying
Making a
its
mountain
hands.
out of a molehill.
Yeah, this is the
No,
left
but the speech
overplaying its
itself,
hand.
I never said
The
that.
speech was stupid.
There have been people who said
It was
that.
befit-
Not
I
you
know people have
specifically.
said that, and people on the right have said far worse things about Barack Obama than was ever said about that. These
That
are
doesn't make
children.
those
You don't
right.
care?
I don't care.
Your
I do
president
care,
gets
rather.
up there
He-
and does this in front of children.
I think
It's
you're,
wrong.
I
He
think
shouldn't
you're
have done this.
He shouldn't have done it
But
by
people are overreacting to
Okay,
this.
I
we,
don't
It's
think
just
so.
we
another
still,
bad
we
story.
still got a couple more we need to
I don't
get
think
to.
so, given who he is.
Okay, number 3. Virginia Tech faces criticism over potential Michael Vick induction into the Virginia Tech Hall of Fame.
He has no business getting into that Hall of Fame.
Why?
He has no business.
Well, he was a great athlete
you
there.
know what? But the Hall of
He
Fame.
paid his price.
Yeah, whatever.
He went to prison.
Whatever.
I disagree with you. I'm a big fan of a comeback story, and Michael Vick, he did something wrong, he went to jail, he paid the price, and he's come back and he's been an upstanding citizen since then. And he's made a lot of great contributions to society. And I think Michael Vick is the perfect example of someone who should be used as a role model as far as when you have people that are convicted of crimes and reforming themselves, because that's what Michael Vick has done, and I think he is more than
he has a lot
deserving
more to
of
prove,
that.
though. I mean, it hasn't been that long in terms of a life lived.
It hasn't
I'm
been that
sorry.
long in terms of.
And again,
life,
this is
it's still been
football.
years.
And
Good
Hail
point.
football
Yes.
is a religion for these people.
Yeah,
So
and it's not.
we'll forgive them for that. They wouldn't forgive other people for, some other things that might have objected or, gone against some other laws
I
that
think
might
we
have
should
been.
be able to
Okay,
forgive other
guys,
people for
another
other things.
You
another
should
great
be able
topic.
to forgive, but you don't have to enshrine
You should
it.
have added more time to
We're
this.
going to do that.
Okay, number 4, Wisconsin
Enshrining
company to
people.
Microchip employees. Jim,
Oh, God.
you
where
going to
do-
microchip your employees?
Where do I start on this one? Just say no. No.
Where's the
They
microchip
say
go,
yes,
Jim?
50
It
out of
goes
10
like
yes.
right here or somewhere. It goes in your
Right in
hand.
here.
Yeah, but the point is, why? Why would you do that?
Why
would
not?
That's crazy.
In the future, you're going to hit your hand to dial.
Or you might have the Russians hacking into your...
This is so unnecessary. You can put that kind of microchip in a key card and use it just like that. I stayed in a hotel in Atlanta. I was down in Atlanta for my cousin's wedding this weekend, and we were staying at a hotel. We had the little key card, and you didn't have to swipe it or anything. You just stick
Well,
it
I
next to
guess-
the
I
sensor.
guess the
You can
argument
open your
is-
door. You can get into
yeah.
the place. You can use the vending machine.
I guess the argument is you're not going to lose it, but no, I don't want a microchip.
Absolutely
No.
So
not.
if somebody works in a sensitive place now, are they going to attack you and do surgery so they can get the microchip to get into
Exactly. They're going to cut off your hand so they can get into
the... people, nuttier things.
Well,
have
that's
been
why
done.
they don't use thumbprints anymore, because they cut their thumb off to use the thumbprint to get in places.
I understand.
Luckily, this policy is voluntary for the employees of the company.
Well, if it wasn't, I'd be finding a new job.
It might be paying well. Wouldn't want to quit.
I don't care.
Just to have
It's not all.
it's
not all
voluntary.
about the money.
Next, Confederate statue moved in Montgomery County, Maryland. Ike Leggett, the
Yeah.
county executive, has decided to put this statue on private grounds. Tyler, what do you think? I mean, this is cropping up all over the country. Should we
I
be
think
doing something like this?
I think because they're moving the statue to private grounds instead of just tearing it down and destroying it, it's not as bad as some of the censorships we've seen of Confederate monuments across the country. But it's important to remember the Civil War. It was a traumatic event in our history where brothers were fighting against brothers, and it shaped our nation into who we were. And Abraham Lincoln himself preached forgiveness for the South after the Civil War, and it's important that we remember it. And even if that means keeping up some of these monuments, it's very easy to understand.
It should
that
be in a historical context.
Yeah,
though,
and I think
because
most of these are in
statues-
context.
This one was put up during the resurgence of the KKK in 1913. And it was sending a certain message that had nothing to do primarily with the Civil War. I work at that museum. It's interesting some of the discussions I've had with people who are very much into this, from both sides. But it was meant to make a statement about rights for black people.
Well, I think that
That's
our
why
history.
those statues went up there.
I think that, adding on to what both of you said, I think our history is our history, and I think the worst thing we can do is forget it, because those who neglect to remember history often
Yeah,
repeat
but
it,
you
and
know,
that's
again,
not place.
put some of these people
where
in
we
a place
wanna
of
be.
honor, public places.
No, I agree with that too. It should be in a historical
That's where
context.
I see a difference.
as you
They could be
suggest.
there, but not, you don't have it in the center of town and say, hey, this is great. It's not if you're black.
That's
not.
the last word, Tom, you've had. Stay tuned. Last call is next.